Recently, I have been talking about the fact that it is cool and it's best for you to marry early. And many people have been thinking that I've been putting pressure on people to get married and the rest. But I don't know why. Anytime we say people should marry early, they think that we are putting pressure on them. If we tell them to go to school early, they don't think there is pressure. If we tell them to get a master's early, they don't think it's pressure. If we tell them that, I think you can start your PhD right now, they do not think it's pressure. Like, if you start suggesting to your friends and to your clients that it's time they started their business or they have something by the side that they are doing, they do not see it as pressure. But the moment, all right, says, I think we should get married now, or I think we start today, but they say, stop pressuring young people, stop pressuring them, stop pressuring them. Everybody has his own time and everybody has his own space and the rest. And I'm always asking myself that before you start to say and feel so confident that God's time is the best, God's time is the best. Do you know God's time? You should first of all identify God's time before you start saying God's time is the best. Because if you don't know God's time and you cannot identify God's time, there's every possibility that God's time can actually be in your past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, the Bible says that, and Daniel knew by books that the time of captivity ought to be over. In fact, by God's clear prophecy, they were not supposed to be in captivity again, but they were still in captivity. I'm sure some people will still pray when it is God's time, when it is God's time, we'll go
Yeah.
back to Zion, we'll go back to Jerusalem when it is God's time. And the God's time has passed. So you
Yeah.
have to first of all ask yourself, what is the God time? See, there's one thing that is very clear. The Bible says that unto everything under the sun, there is time and season.
Yeah.
Everything under the sun, there is time and season. It's a generic time, not specific time. I think we should understand that first of all. So there is time and season. If I have a child and the child is not crawling yet at age 2, I should be seriously troubled,
Yeah.
right? I will not start coming up with the excuse of time and season on a very serious note because by the rules of time and season, at that age, that child ought to be working.
Yeah.
So why is it that we agree that there is time and season regarding different things? Say, for example, you have a child and the child is 15 years old and the child has not yet attained puberty. Will you say it is time and season and relax? If you're asking question, will you think it is pressure? No, it is not because God has written time and season in the universe. And so that was why he gave us sun to mark the day and he gave us the moon to mark the night. So it is time and season. And it could be very challenging when people start asking, what is it that is the proper time to get married? We'll get into that today because today I'm hosting two amazing couples. But right now, we already have one couple in the studio. And they have been my friends for a while. At least I've known the husband for a long time, although it is not the wife that is my friend. Maybe I was not so close to him because he's a dog lover, and so it was himself and my other friend, my friend and housemate Omoru Efe, Loco Efe. They were the ones
Yeah.
that were friends because they like those dog lovers. They are dog lovers, but they are dog breeders and the rest. People like us are dog lovers because we carry your dog and we use it to stroke and we return it back to you. And the rest. But interestingly, we have with us Mr. Joseph Sanusi and his wife. Please, you may know her with different names, but I think I want to call her that. Although what was that your Bible name again? Is it Deborah?
Yes. Why
Let
are
me
you doing
let me
that?
call it
Why are
in
you doing
Nigerian
that on
accent.
the internet? Why are you doing that?
Is it is it not your name? Were you not giving that name during your naming?
Pronounce it
Is
Tushi.
it
Deborah. It's Deborah.
Deborah.
no? If you pronounce it as Deborah, Deborah cannot be a judge. That name is too. That
Is
name
it
is
too?
too funky for a judge. For judge, you mean female judge?
Yeah.
It's Deborah. Sister Deborah.
Yeah.
And,
Oh my goodness.
thank you. Okay, the two of them, they have been married for a while now. Of course, you can see their amazing son with them, and they they get to also do things for couples, do things for singles, and Josie and I we have worked together as facilitator in our teens church while they were in Nigeria, and together till tomorrow we are still counselors in the Alright Passion Counselors Network. I am so happy to have you guys on ground. Thank you so much.
Happy. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Yes. So let me see. Just give me a moment, please. Let me try to get our second couple. Right? Are they here? Oh, okay. Hold on, please,
That's all
because
right.
I'm trying to get the second couple. Okay, they just showed up.
Oh, okay.
Uh, they are showing up, so we'll still be having them. Once they are fully in, we'll have them in. So let me start with Mr. Joseph. When did you get married?
We got
At what
married.
age? Let's just do it straight away.
Okay, I got married at the age of 27, 20,
Wait,
26.
yeah, yeah. 1 month to
1
27.
month to 27. I was 26. 1 month to 27.
Oh, one month to you're 27. Okay,
Yeah.
I will soon add in Mr. Dan, Pastor Dan Angolia, and his wife. Okay, they'll soon be joining us right now. Let me add them to join us. Thank you so much, sir and ma'am. Can you hear us, Pastor Dan? I can hear you, Pastor.
Okay,
Can you hear us, Pastor Dan?
uh,
I can hear you, Pastor. Okay, let's just switch for them.
yeah, I was able to link with another number to hear you now.
Okay. Oh, so sorry. Sorry for the trouble.
I was able to link with another number.
Thank you. I'll also bring you back to that. So, um, let's see. Oh, so, Pastor Dan, can you also make that number your microphone? Mute this microphone you are using right now, so that
I
that
joined
other
from
number
the
becomes
other
your
distance.
microphone too, so that it does not
I
echo.
joined here. This is the live link.
I can hear
This is
you.
the audio. This is the
Okay.
general link.
Can you hear
I just
me?
made. The live link didn't come on the mic. It's not coming.
Can you hear me?
I'm not hearing from the live link. Let me try it again. The volume from the live link.
Sorry, sorry everyone. Pastor Dan and his wife, they are trying to join us. Let's see.
Uh, let me join with another phone here.
Okay, no problem. So, wait, 26 going on 27. God Joseph, do you think you might?
Well, I would say that for
Can you
me,
hear
I
me,
don't
Mr.
count it
Joseph?
as early.
I
Yes,
can
we
hear
can.
you with the other microphone anyway. Yes,
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
hearing you.
Okay,
Let me try it again. Volume of the
let's
live link.
see.
Sorry, everyone.
Okay, he will soon be back. Let me do and come back. Okay, so sorry for that. Sorry for interrupting you. God Joseph, the nickname of the husband of Mary. Uh, so at 27, in your perspective, do you think you were married early?
I would say, in my perspective, I was not married early because I actually set an earlier time for myself to have gotten married. So I was like
Mhm.
4 years later than the time I set for myself to get married.
Oh, oh, great. So the thing about it I would like to ask is that did people around you think that you married
Yes,
too
yeah,
early?
please.
Well, some
Did
people
others think that you married too early?
Bring the picture.
feel I might have married early, but most people, those that were close to me, knew I was already living like I was married because I lived this life of responsibility and commitment.
Mhm.
So it didn't feel like
Okay.
I was getting married early.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So let's come to Madam. Madam, how old were you when you got married?
23.
Do you consider yourself as someone who married early?
Honestly, initially, I used to feel like I married really early. But these days, I'm seeing people
Okay.
get married like 21, 20, and I'm
Yes.
like, ah, you were old though. You didn't marry early. But as at then, it seemed pretty early because I just finished my NYSC. We got married the year after I finished my
Mm-hmm.
NYSC. So my parents were like, at first my mom was, and I'm the last born. So my mom felt like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where are you going? So it looked a bit
Why
early
why
then.
are you trying to run away from home?
Yes. My uncles were concerned, like, why not go for your masters? Why not do this? Why not do that? So it seemed really early for them. But I already knew that I was going to be getting married early because the Holy Spirit had already told me, like, years back that I was going to be getting married early. So I had sort of
Ah,
prepared for it. So I just knew
people
that that
that
was the
people that used
time.
to hear God.
Don't
Okay.
just
Okay.
approve.
Okay, let me check with Pastor Dan. Pastor Dan, can you hear us now? Kindly unmute yourself, please. Okay, 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 that's fine. So let's come to Madam. Madam, how old were you when you got married? Pastor Dan is on delay.
Initially, I used to feel like I married really early. But these days, I'm seeing people get married like 21, 20, and I'm like,
Let's see. Pastor Dan, I want to suggest that you try joining with another device entirely. Try joining with another device entirely, and let's see what could happen. Okay. Sorry, while we are still trying to see how we can get to Pastor Dan and the rest. So let me come to the two of you. What has been the joys thus far? What has been the joys of getting married early? Why are you giving it to your husband?
why can't we see? We can't see you again. But anyway,
But you can hear me. I don't want you to see me. I can see you and hear you.
Okay, we can hear you. Anyway, the joys for me has been, first of all, we actually get to grow up together. Because for me, it felt like I was, getting married. I was still very much, I am still very much, young, but I had the opportunity. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you loud and clear.
Okay, so if it felt like,
Yeah, I can hear you right now. Good evening, everyone.
good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, we can hear you.
I want to suggest that you try joining with another device entirely.
Okay, let me try that again. Okay.
Bring that remote. Bring it.
Okay.
We are still with you, the Sanusi.
Okay. I could hear Pastor Dan, so I held on a bit.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
yeah, like I said, we grew up together. Like we got to experience so many things, together. I got to have like so many firsts with him, So like I had plenty. Oh, this is my first time doing this. This is my first time. This is my first time. So it helped build a lot of memories for us,
Okay.
and
Okay.
yes, and we also got to navigate, some aspect. Like basically, I grew up right in front of him. Or I'm growing up right in front of him, cause like
Mm-hmm.
my business, my revenue, lots of things. Unfortunately, so lots of these things he already had the opportunity to do. So it's just like him putting me through like so many things, and I think the major joy is just growing up together and the opportunity to start our family early. But the life that when we are like in our 40s, we'll be saying we'll be married for 20 something years and we won't look like it,
Oshe.
you know.
Oshe.
So I'm just
Oshe.
grateful for that, basically.
So, Mr. Joseph, sir, what is your take regarding it at the end?
For me, I would say that one of the joy of getting married early,
Mm,
I would approach it from the side of a guy.
yes.
I was able to start putting things together for myself
Mm,
really early, because
mm,
one of the
yeah.
distractions I noticed that young men experience, especially due to delay or not giving attention to settling down, is when we get to
Yeah.
this prime age that we begin to make money for ourselves. There are lots of distractions.
Sure.
There are
Sure.
not lots of things that would tend to take your attention, and by the time you are really
Yeah.
set down, you realize you've wasted so much money, so much time, so much.
Mm,
Even you've altered so much of your emotions and personality to become someone else based on your various
yeah.
experiences, and
Mm,
you are now trying to retrace your step. You might have even picked some habits due to pressure, peer pressure, or the environment. You understand? But for me, I
yeah.
can say I had very little experience of
Mm,
what would you this word, like I had very little experience of being wild. You understand? Because
yes.
I
I get
was
that.
already married at the stage where I might have been wild. You understand? Born wild. You understand?
Yes.
So that's
thank,
one of
thank, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Um, I look at it again and I consider, and let's assume you were still single. Let me start with Mr. Joseph. Let's assume that you were still single. The possibility that something will fall for you may not exist if you were still single today. Because the things you'll be needing in a husband, the things you'll be needing in a man, there's a part of this thing that people don't realize is that the longer you are as a woman, the more you display more masculinity. Because for you to be able to survive as a single woman, to be able to make money for yourself, to be able to run your own life, run your own house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make your own decision. It
Yeah.
forces the testosterone, because women also have testosterone. It forces the testosterone to act and to become active,
the
which will make you now display some masculine tendencies, right?
Yeah.
So those masculine tendencies you would now be displaying will make you almost now start asking yourself, that's why you now start hearing people say, what do I need a man for? I don't need a man. What actually, you will not be the one like, what is he bringing to my life? Like everything you
Exactly.
want to offer,
Like what you bring to the
everything you
table.
want to use to toast me, every, everything you want to use to toast me, I already have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm already doing it for myself. And if Mr. Joseph was at this age wanting to get married to a pretty girl like you, the competition will be high.
Yes.
yeah.
The competition will be high. At that time, at the time when you were choosing him, all
Mm-hmm.
he needed to prove was that he had a future.
Yes.
He was a fine boy and he had the future.
Yeah.
That was what he needed to prove. But if he was still single right now, he'll be needing to prove more. You know, there's a difference between I have a future and you are supposed to be bearing the fruits by now.
By now we should be seeing the things.
If you are 24 years old and if you are 24 years old and you are earning 30K or 50K in Nigeria, people will understand.
Yeah.
But if you are 35 years old and you are earning 100K, people are like, that's not enough for you to start a family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So those are some of the things I want to say. So I want to ask now, Pastor Dan Favor, can you hear us now? Because we can see you. Hello, Pastor Dan Favor. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Pastor Dan Favor? Your mic is unmuted. Okay, I'm still trying to get him. I want to continue. So, but it is my belief that one way or the other, you guys must have faced some challenges in marrying early, right? And although we know, even those that are married at 50, they also face challenges. So facing of challenges is not peculiar. It's not because you are young.
Yeah.
The question I want to ask right now, what are some of the challenges that you two may have faced and you can attach it to it is because we married young?
Maybe I went for the first
All
time.
right. If I'm to identify what I could have said were challenges, I would also not want to trace them to challenges of maybe we married young. But
Yeah.
the major things that I would have said were challenges were we had to seek lots of much more than we would have done.
Okay.
Not
I'm still with you.
not from, we didn't most of what we learned were not things that we already experienced. For example, let's say we were older, we might have gone into those relationships, you understand, maybe had some heartbreaks. We will be able to relate some things to, oh, I had this in my previous relationship, oh, I'm experiencing this now because I had it before, you understand. But most of what we experienced or we needed to scale through, the others we needed to scale through, were a bit more difficult because we were already in it together. For example, let's say for me in business, I had some early stage challenge in business that she was already in at that time. You understand? So at that point, if I was not married, most likely I would have had to go through them alone, and she will be coming in when the business has become rosy. You understand? But those challenges were tough on her side also because she had to bear them. She had to bear them, and you know, it had to be more finances. So it rubbed on both of us at the moment. At the same time, she had to also come in and maybe helping with her business at that time also. So that was like a major challenge that I would say that had to do with, okay, we were in this early enough, and our business was too young to have gone through bearing, because I was in the construction business, she was in the perfumery. Imagine a perfumery business trying to support a construction business. It was weighing much on her.
She also had Tiger North Africa.
Yeah, so that was the major thing. Every other thing, I would say that there are not challenges that are age related that I can remember right now. Or is there any other thing?
I don't really think we had age
We
related
we didn't really have age
challenges.
related challenge because we had been reading. When I met her, one of the things she made me do was
Yeah.
read. I had to read several things. She would send me book like literally almost every 2 weeks. Go and read. I was like, what's happening? Am I writing the exam? But actually, I later got to appreciate them because she had like
Mhm.
a library of books on marriage, on relationship that she would
Wow.
send to me
Wow.
almost
Wow.
every 2 weeks. Go and
Wow.
read this, and we'll be
Wow.
reviewing this. Go and read this. That was why I learned several things. So,
Mhm.
like I said, I had read things that she had shown me, so it made it easier
It's shield. You're not
to.
making sound again. Stop, stop. Don't call that
That
cardboard. I'm using it.
that's great.
It's cardboard.
That's great, and the
Mom.
rest because it's good to know that these things were not they were not how would I say age related because usually what we get to see from time to time is people coming up and saying things like if you marry early you will not have known yourself, you will not have discovered yourself, this and that. And I usually ask simple questions are like why would the person not why should you have somebody who is 21 years old and the person is not yet fully ready for marriage? Like, what are we doing? Pastor Dan Paintball, can you hear us now? Hello, can you hear us now? Pastor Dan, can you hear us now? I can see people, I can see your beautiful faces. I've just been enjoying your beautiful faces, Pastor Dan and Pastor Sonia. However, we've not been able to still hear you. This is touching me, seriously touching me because I want to hear the two of you. Okay, what is going to happen is something simple. We'll do everything to bring them back, So, something as a counselor yourself, you're a counselor, you have your own counseling ministry, and you're also a counselor of Authorized Passion Counselors Network. What is your suggestion to people generally regarding when to marry? When
So
to marry?
honestly, that thing, I don't think there's like club to say that okay, this is the age
Mhm.
that you begin to get ready because you literally meet some people that are older and you believe that they should know better and they don't, and even you personally will not
That's right.
advise them to get married. So
Yeah.
what I would suggest is for people to
Mm.
most people leave working on themselves for later time. They still feel like I'm young, so they don't actually do some hard work on
Mhm.
themselves. So what I'll say is
Yeah.
start working on yourself. Like you don't have all the time in the world, okay? So start working on yourself
True.
pretty early. There's no time that you don't get to a particular stage and say, oh yes, I've worked on myself now, I can get married. Once you can realize that you are matured, emotionally, and that doesn't mean that you don't
Yes.
keep growing, emotionally in marriage, but you are mature to an extent
Mhm.
that your emotions don't, they're not your driving force. Your emotions are not your
Yes.
dictating force. And then you also know that
Yes.
sexually you are ready because things, beautiful additions like babies can start to come in. So you also know
I'm
that
telling you.
in that aspect,
Of course.
and you know that
Mhm.
financially at least you can feed yourself, your wife,
So,
and a baby,
mm.
a child, so you know that at least your finances, if
I,
you
I
guys
think I
do.
think I think I think that's it. I think that's it. First of all, I remember there's a statement you made there now.
Mhm.
There's a statement you made there now that is very significant for every person to pay attention to. I remember when I wanted to get married, my uncle asked me a question, and he said,
Yeah.
"If we marry this woman for you right now, all right, if we marry this babe for you, you go feed down,
Mhm.
right? You go feed down, you go pay house rent and feed down."
Yeah,
And that
exactly.
was more or less like the only terms and condition. financially. Like if you can pay your house rent and you guys can feed yourself, then what else are you waiting for again? I think there's just this challenge we are having right now is that people want to grow first before
And
they
then,
get married, rather
yes,
than growing in marriage.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Rather than growing in marriage. So it now becomes like, whoa, what are you trying to do? Why are you giving yourself all this stress? Why are you putting yourself all
Yeah.
through? Because you guys are growing now. Your businesses were growing in Nigeria, although challenges that happen to your business was not because people were young. All of us, we are all having challenges in one or two challenges in our businesses and our practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I look at all the divorce cases that I've handled and those that my friends have handled, there's none that I will say it is because the people were young. You can be young and stupid, you can be old and stupid.
Yes, I agree.
I have seen people who are 45 years old making romantic decisions that an 18-year-old will not make. And I'm like, are you well?
Mm-hmm.
So, so the idea about it is that I can see you being the reader, of course, all of us know say you like book and the rest. You don't try to deny it online. Let us not cast you. Let us not cast you. Let's just leave it here. But we can see you trying to bring your husband to speed. Like, oh, I have read this book that will be good for us. I think you should also read it. I have read this book that will be good for our marriage. I think you should also read it. Pastor Dan, can you hear us, sir? Pastor Dan Favor.
Yeah, well, what you there? Can
Finally.
can you hear me?
Awesome. Hey. Yes, we can hear you loud
Are you,
and clear.
Finally.
How you doing, sir?
I had to collect my daughter's phone and log in. I don't know why
Oh,
my phone was not working. My wife's was not working. My daughter's phone that was.
oh, sorry. Thank God we have at least one phone that we can use. How you doing, sir? Okay. Hello. Hello, Pastor Dan. Favor. Oh, it's like he's having network issues. The last time I saw Pastor Dan and I even spoke with him would be 2013, or it cannot be earlier than 2015.
Wow.
Thereabout is, yes, it's been a long time. And the rest, while we were talking about Tosin, for a long time we were talking about having this particular show, right,
Yeah.
where we'll be talking about the joys of marrying early. And I remember I was going to review some people and when they married early, and I discovered that Mama Adeboye and
Mhm.
Mommy Gio married at the age of 19 or so.
Wow.
And I was like, eh. I have an aunt that married at 16. I have my grandmother married at 16 too. And
Me,
it was
I'm
when I saw
old.
that Dr. Glenn Arekion, Reverend Victor married at Reverend Victor Adeyemi married at on his 24th birthday,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, ah, papa, man. Then I saw Dr. Glenn Arekion that married at the age of 20.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I don't know, but for me to have married at 30, I married very old. I was old stock. It was let my people go at 30. At 30, I'm very sure I was a prayer point. Like so, that's like, yes, I can hear the Dan favors now. You people can hear us, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good
Great,
evening.
great. Yes, good evening. Oh, madam, have I met you? Have we seen before?
No, we haven't.
Are you serious? But I've seen your husband a lot. I don't know if you can remember my face or at least my troublesome name.
Why not? Yeah, we can.
because because when being in Makodi 2013, 2012, 2013, what I played, and all the down to 2015 when I was still visiting, and all those times he will always come as a minister for programs and the rest. It's good to have you people. Thank God you guys are finally here. So let me put it on the spot because the Sanusis have been there. I know Tosi will be happy now that I have to give up a lie and the rest. So just so, ma'am, let me start from you, ma'am. At what age did you marry, ma'am?
It's around the same age she married, 23.
Awesome,
Can
awesome.
you hear
So
me?
that's the same.
Yeah.
I can hear you loud and clear. That was the same age that
Okay.
Tosin got married because Tosin also got married at the age of 23. So, and
Yeah. I
sir,
heard.
at what age did you get married?
I think I was 27, 26,
26.
27.
26.
Tradition, I think
You did.
uh, between 26, 27.
Oh, the two of you. You put it to please. I should connect the two of you because
We need to be doing reunion.
Joseph, you know, Joseph was Joseph was 26. Joseph was 26. It was a month to his wedding that he got
Okay.
married. Sorry, did I say a month to his wedding got married? What's wrong with me? I must be hungry.
Yeah.
Now, Joseph,
But
Joseph got married a month to his 27th birthday. A month to his 27th
Uh,
yeah,
birthday. And now I understand that Pastor Dan Favor got married traditionally 26. His church wedding was 27. So
yeah.
Tosin got married at 23, and now we understand that Mama Sonia got married at the age of 23 too. So the two of you, people, people need to share with us, right? So now I will start with. I want to ask this question to you, Mama Sonia. Like at that time when you were getting married at 23, did you have fears? Yeah, these fears you had, like, hey, maybe I never wise reach you. Maybe I for wait, make I see grow small, see get some more sense, so and the rest. Were there concerns you had regarding marriage based on your age?
um, yes, I think. Yeah, because I had so many objections, especially from my girlfriend. We were still in school
Mm-hmm.
then. So they were like,
Mm-hmm.
where are you running to now? Ah, not even
Mm-hmm.
just date somebody, one person in your life, and then marry the person. Why won't you test other people to
Mm-hmm.
see if it work out or not and all? I had my fears and objections as well. And then my
Oh,
siblings, he's not my tribe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
So they have this kind, no, you have to marry our tribe. You have to marry your tribe. My father was a chief, so and then I'm the last child. So it's like, ha,
Mm-hmm.
you now go to another place, and it's not possible. You cannot. So we had some objections here and there. Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm. Interesting. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for that. So, Pastor Favor, let me now ask you, what did you feel you were marrying young? And people, did you have that attack from people also saying that, hey, where are you rushing to? Who they pursue you? What you don't achieve for life? Did you have to also deal with that?
I sure did. I married. By the time I was getting married, I had a lot of friends came to me privately to ask me, "Did you pregnant this lady?" They were feeling that maybe the lady was pregnant or something, because we had some news that was flying all over that Favor wants to get married and it's too early. Maybe the girl is pregnant or something. I've been with my wife for 6 years. at the time I was making this
Wow.
decision.
Wow.
There was no sex in our
Wow.
relationship until we got,
Wow.
and I
Wow.
was staying in my house. I was living alone. There was nothing like sex. We had made up our mind from the beginning of our relationship. So I was
Mm. Mhm.
just laughing at them when they said maybe this girl is pregnant. A friend of mine, Dave Otom, came to meet me. He said, this is the news he's hearing everywhere. I said, no, you will watch and see. I have not touched this girl. She said, it's my new bride. There's nothing to touch there until I get married. So I had the challenges, but
Mm.
hello.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for that. That's the interesting thing for us because I'm looking at it now. The Sanusi still be on standby because I'm coming to you. I'm cooking something for you guys, but the Dan Favor they had technical challenges before they joined us. So let's enjoy them. Let's enjoy them before our time on the show is up. So this is what I want to say. Why I usually get confused when I say people should get married early. Um, I don't know you for years. I don't know you over time and the rest. Perhaps the first time I ever met you was in 2012 because I came to Makodi NYC 2000 November December 2011 there about. And I usually say this thing, and I say it again to my church people when young people want to get married and they are like, where are you rushing to this and that? And I tell them something that if you give a child to Boko Haram people, to give a child to Boko Haram, in 5 years, what will you get back? If you give a child to the LGBTQ community, in 5 years, what will you get back? So, how will you say, as a church, we gave you an individual, this individual grew up in church, and this individual is 21 years old, and you are telling me that the individual is not ready for marriage? So, tell me, for the last 21 years, what have you been doing with this child? What have you been doing with this individual? That is my mindset. That is usually why I ask it. And the reason is simple is that before our civil laws came into existence, the age for marriage traditionally was puberty. So it means that by 12 years old, 13 years old, you were already ripe for marriage. 15 years old, you were already married. 16 years old, you were already married. Apart from people like Ruth, regarding Ruth's second marriage, if you look at all our mothers of faith in the Bible, I doubt if there's any of our mothers of faith in the Bible that happen to be in the book of Hebrews, Hebrews 11 Hall of Fame. I doubt if there was any of them that got to 20 before marriage. In fact, I would doubt if any of them got to 18 before they got married, right? Unless maybe somebody like Rachel, because 7 years that Jacob invested in marrying her and the rest may have been one of the persons, but every other person married early. So this is the question I want to ask the two of you, the Dan Favors. Did you guys face any challenge just because which we want to tag to say it is because you people married early? Was there any challenge like that that you people had to face, which can be traced to just because you guys married early?
Was there any challenge?
Motherhood.
Okay, my wife. Let's
Yeah,
hear.
motherhood for me was
Mhm.
a challenge because motherhood,
Okay.
being a mother to a child, was a challenge for me because I had my baby a year after my wedding, and
Okay.
then we're living on our. My parents were not here. His mother is
Yeah.
already she's no longer alive, so
Yeah.
it was a big challenge. I had to go with my son to school. Sometimes we'll just be
Mm.
rotating him when he's having exams. The baby will be with me. When I'm having exams, he will be with him. And also at that point, I'm like, hey, I hope I did not make the wrong choice, because it was difficult. When you want to read, the baby is crying, and also
Yeah.
it was a for me. It made me kind of think my decision if it was right or not. But if I see my son
Okay.
now, he's a teen. It gives me joy, and I know that that was the best decision ever I made at that point in my life.
The thing about it that the Bible says that you should bear the yoke of life while you are young. And motherhood
Thank
motherhood does not
you.
get easier with age.
At-
Yeah.
Motherhood does not get
right?
easier with
Yeah,
age. It does not. It does not. Because the older you will become, the more you are going to face the medical challenges.
Of course.
In
exactly.
addition to the fact that your body is now getting older too. So the stress it
Yeah.
will be on you and the rest. So
Hmm.
Pastor Dan, Pastor Dan Favor. Yeah, so let me
Yes,
ask
dear.
you, were there any specific challenges you faced because were you married young? Like for her academic on that she brought up right now, um, Mr. Joseph, are you done with your program or you are still in school?
No, I'm not in
Who
school.
is that?
Okay, you are not in school, Mr. Joseph, right?
No.
So, see, are you the one in school? Are you the one in school?
Yes.
Okay, so you are in school and you still have a child right now, so you are still facing it.
Hmm.
I am in school and I have two kids and I'm still facing it. So, so that's challenge you face with your son and school was not necessarily because of age. Because even right now that I'm 35 and I have two kids, I'm still facing that challenge.
Yeah.
Oh.
You get it now? Because there's
Mm-hmm,
one
mm-hmm,
thing people see out there. People don't see things out there as life. They see it as your problem rather than see it as a life issue. It's
mm-hmm.
a life issue, right? It is not
Yeah.
because, oh, this and that. It's because we are living life. Tomorrow, you may want to decide to get a doctorate somewhere. And you will still have to deal with motherhood because right now you have kids.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
still have to deal with
Yeah.
motherhood and that doctorate program and the rest. So, Pastor Dan Favor, were there any specific challenges you had because you married early?
You, you, you just answered that question. That was the angle I was trying to go. I had told my wife that, oh girl,
Mm.
there's nothing to run away from. This thing, if you run away from it today, you will catch it tomorrow in life. So there's no point running away
And
from this stuff.
Mm.
We have to hit it straight. Okay, right now we are really. My last child is 9 years, right? My last boy is 9 years. We are
Wow.
we are good.
wow.
We are, we are good. I have three kids, two guys and one girl. And then my last one is
Wow.
9 years. I'm not moving around. I'm speeding right now. The speed is much. I see my mates going around taking care of children. I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I did it early. So to me, there are no
Yeah.
regrets at all. No,
Mm,
I ran when I had so much strength. There are no regrets at all.
mm.
I really say
Wow,
We're
wow,
Mm.
celebrating you,
wow,
sir.
wow.
Area
no.
clap,
Me,
clap.
I won't lie. I have regret. I have regret. I have regret that I did not marry early. And I cannot blame the devil, neither can I blame God. I was promised that I did not have money. And the money that made me not to marry then, I still don't have the money now. That's the bad thing. This is my money. That made me not to marry them. And you know the thing about it is that especially when we get to see it and look at it from a perspective, right? The Sanusis may not know this, but I know then I will always admire my mentor, Mama Franca Atukulu. And like by the time she was 40 years old, her kids were grown. Like her kids were fully grown. she could live her life. Now my wife is enjoying. I remember I used to tell my wife that, babe, I want you to have all your kids before you are 30. I want you to have all your kids before you are 30. She did not understand. This year she's going to be 31 and she's like, the breath of fresh air. She cannot pursue some things. Like my
Yeah.
wife in April, my wife traveled for more than 16 days and I was alone with the boys. Like, babe, anything you want to do, be living your life. You have already done the foundation work. We'll see how we'll do it. Just explore your life and enjoy your life. And that's one thing many young people do not understand. And that's what it is that I want us to close with. So I'll be coming with all of us. It's something my dad explained to me. He said, don't look at your life from now. Look at it from when you are 50 years old. Like when you are 50 years old. Do you want to be 45 years and still be doing school run?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Because in this city of Ibadan, I still see people who are 50 years old joining me to do school run. We're all doing school runs together. At the end of the day, you want to
Yeah.
bear the yoke while you are young. So this is what I want to say. So let me start with I will start with Mr. Joseph Sanusi, then I'll come to Mama Sonia. Mr. Joseph, there are many young people out there. At least thank God before you left Nigeria, you saw some of the singles who were around the church, singles who were around in your community, boys who are choosing to live large rather than to start bearing the yoke of life. Because whether I like it or not, having children is part of the yoke of life. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't bear it in your youth, you will bear it in your old age. So,
Yeah.
what will be your advice to them?
Um, I was before I say that, I was going to say something. One of the reasons why I decided I needed to marry early was I checked my dad's life. My dad married really late. My dad is late, and my dad died when he was 80, and I was just maybe about
16.
no, maybe I was about almost 20 then, or 20 something, and my dad died at 80. So
Wow.
we were yet to get to the stage of having anything to even say that okay, he enjoyed life in old age. So literally he nurtured us till his old age, till he died. You understand? And
Wow.
when I looked at it, I
Wow.
looked at it that I don't want to make this same mistake, because one of the mistakes I would say that I learned from him that I'm not willing to make was that in his prime, when he was really making all the money, because my dad was a director of finance, when he was making all the money, he had to use the money to raise the children of every other person, because he didn't have children
Oh.
of, you understand, that
Mm.
were old then. So it had to be an investment done to people outside, families, people that were strangers. You understand? And this is one thing that I can say, for people, for guys that are of our age range and feel like, oh, I'm not ready for marriage. Fine, those excuses might
Yes.
look like it now, but I want you to look at the perspective of when you are in your 50s. Always try to calculate
Mm-mm.
how will your children be. Like Pastor
Mm-mm.
Dan said, is beginning to enjoy life. I was telling my wife just before this video, like by the time we are in our 40s, we can go on all the vacations we want, because by then our children will be already mature enough to handle themselves. So I can say that by
Yeah.
then we will be reaping the benefits.
True. True. True.
You still have to do it either ways. So, and at that time, do you think you have the energy to do as much as you will be able to do now? Do you think you have the patience? Do you think you have everything you think? So, we just advise is something that is noble and best to start as early as one can, so you can use your youthful days to invest the energy, the resources, so you can enjoy and rest earlier. So that's the major thing I feel is my angle to advise anyone. Thank you. Hello, can you hear
All
me?
right, can you hear us?
Yeah.
But it seems he's off. Let's wait a little
Oh,
Oh,
bit.
okay,
okay.
okay.
I think he's still off.
Okay, I think
Okay.
it's back now.
Interestingly, I was hearing people and I was talking. Oh, I was hearing people and I was talking. I was saying that
Yeah, he's coming
one of
back.
the interesting things I usually say is that I usually like telling men that the price of diaper is not dropping. Price of baby food is not dropping. If that is what is carrying you, just know that since they gave birth to me, since I was born, now that I'm getting old, I have never seen anything reducing in this country. So
Yes,
if you keep on saying it is expensive, it is expensive, it is expensive, well, as you are getting old, it is also getting more expensive. There's nothing you can do. So I want to go to Pastor Dan. Pastor Dan, what will you say to young men here? And
I'm with you.
there's something that you said. There's something that you said, and I also know the same of the Sanusi the Sanusi is that you guys were able to do relationship for the period you were able to do relationship, and there was no sex involved until marriage, right? And to a large extent, if Apostle Paul says that
Yeah.
because of sexual immorality, people should get married, it means that sexual drive should actually also be one of the reasons why people should get married. Because today we are having many young men who they no longer have sexual drive to get married because they are already being sexually satisfied.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that sexual drive that is supposed to push them to get married no longer exists because they are getting it already, right? So what would
Yeah.
you say? Because right now,
Uh,
Joseph has explained to us the part of the morning part, the part of the young age part, and how to bring it. I want you to bring it from that perspective. What is the role of purity in being that motivation? Purity in being that motivation, the role of purity, and the role of the Bible says that without faith you cannot please God, and the role of faith, having that belief that I can do this marriage right now at this young age, succeed in it. What would be your counsel to young men on that?
okay, the role of purity. Thank you very much again. The role of purity. I like you to know that purity helps trust in marriage. That's one thing purity has built in our marriage. If my wife sees me with anybody, my wife has this trust that my husband will never, because she knows what we went through and I was disciplined enough. Purity builds that
Mm,
discipline. Discipline is in every area. If you are disciplined in one area, it has a way of affecting you in the other areas. It has a way of
yes,
affecting you
sir.
in other areas. It doesn't. Nothing stands alone. I'm of that opinion that nothing stands alone. It's the same discipline that makes you can't slap your wife. It's the same discipline
True.
that makes you to endure some things about your wife. The
Yeah.
women's species are a very unique species. So if you are not disciplined, you can't handle them. It's the same discipline.
That's
So if you refuse the discipline, that particular discipline, it will come down to every other aspect of your life. That's
yeah.
one thing I have to advise the young people. And then number two, that same discipline is what makes you to look forward and make more effort. One thing that happened to me, one of the ways I tracked my father-in-law down, I told him that Baba, this girl has been with me for more about 6 years, and I'm not okay again. I've not touched her. Ask your daughter. Okay, I can't promise you that if am with this girl till you say until I finish school 400 level. I'm not promising you that I may not, because we're becoming too close. Baba say, come
Yes,
tomorrow. Come and see me tomorrow. And the rest was history. The rest was history.
yes, that's true. The two of you
I
even
couldn't
married in
wait for.
school.
Yes, we're in school. My wife was in 300 level. I was in 300 level.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So by the time she had given birth to my child, she was going for service. I didn't go for service that year. She was going for service. So when I told Baba that story, Baba said, no, 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 come and see me. Baba gave me a date immediately. Said, you are a young man you are a unique young man. So he gave me the date immediately. And
Yeah, young man
it
with
has
fire in
built,
your bones.
yes, sir. It has built a lot of trust in our marriage. It has built a lot, and trust is a very vital ingredient in a successful marriage.
Yeah, true,
You don't
true.
have it, you will struggle a lot.
Yeah.
You don't have it, you struggle a lot. You just keep suspecting every move the woman makes, and the woman keeps suspecting every move the man makes. And then that will start bringing a lot of shaking in the marriage. So this aspect is very, very important.
Yeah.
Then the second question was what again?
Yes, the second question
Second
was
question was
about the use of faith. Like, it is impossible. Many people are just looking at uh, just the facts. They are just looking at just the facts without looking at the faith. Today, I spend more than 300K on my family every month. But when I got married, I was not only up to 70K a month, right? But that faith
right.
that we know that we can succeed. See, if we need this thing, it will show up. We will grow and the rest. I want you to just talk to young men regarding that because most young men are losing it. Most young men are losing it. They are not longer having that faith and the rest.
Okay, the part of faith is a very serious part. Thank God, most of them, as you see, that because of their pastor. I had a pastor that believed so much in me, Reverend Victor Atokolo. When a lot of persons were telling me that they don't think this thing is going to be possible, he told me that Dan Favor, if your mind is made up, it can work out. Now,
Correct,
before the marriage stuff, I had tested God's faithfulness in one way or the other. I had done a musical album that I did that album by faith. If anybody asks me how much was this album, I will say faith. Everything. So I used the same principle that I used to get that album, that faith principle, to get my marriage happen as well. If you don't take a step in life, forget. You are wasting your time. Life is one step at a time. You won't get everything at once. If you told us we'll be here today, I will never believe. I will never believe. Just 15 years, I will never believe. If we were busy saying, let's wait small, let's get this one, let's wait small, let's get this one. As soon as I got married, the favors that started following us was something else. The day I was dedicating my baby, we were doing the naming for my baby, somebody came to give me a car key. He said, I don't want this baby to trek. I had never driven a car before. I was carrying this girl on the bike. The day I did my wedding, my reverend had been coming to my house day and night. We will come and see gist. But after I wedded, he wakes up one day and calls me that the Lord tell him to give me television, to give me fridge, to give me chairs, to give me a set light, to give me all of everything a man needed in the house. He packed every generator and loaded in my house and say, what type of favor is this? Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. So this woman brought a lot of favor into my house. I want to admonish anybody trying to do this. Take the bold step. There's no way in life you sit down. Why sit we here till we die? You will die there if you don't take a step. Because nothing will happen until you make it happen. So go out. True. There's no. I don't want to admonish. I want to admonish every young man. Move out. That is how things are done. Faith is very important. Total trust. Our trust in God is a key factor to have it. At any level, you will still need a faith. So it's not even because you're a young person.
At any level, favor.
Yeah.
Pastor Danfevo, I
I'm
told you
with
now
you.
that the money that we did not have that made us not to marry at 25, 26, we did not have it when we finally married at 30. Even till now, sef, we are looking for the money.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
idea of people are keeping on waiting for money, and I think there's something you said that I need to focus on. I think the voices you listen to matter. The voices you listen to matter, right? And I can
Thanks a
speak
lot.
because Reverend Victor Atokolo and Mama Franca Atokolo, there are people we still listen to. I mean, even today, we still listen to their message
Yeah,
of
yeah.
last week Sunday. So we still get to listen to them regularly. They are the pastors of our marriage. We listen to every message they preach. Like we get to follow. And they were just these people who kept on letting us know that see, when it comes to marriage, you can do it. You can do it. And you don't need to get to a
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
age to do it. Reverend Victor also got married at the age of 30, and he will tell us that it's not about 30. He married late. We can do it if we decide to put the work to it. And so the people you listen to, and we were being taught the rudiments and everything that is needed to make marriage work. Like everything that. So sometimes some people, I know some people come to see me and ask me, who do you listen to? And I share the Telegram link with them. And like, if you listen to this person, you listen to these people, you just want to stretch out them. So let me, before I come to Tosi, let me come to Mama Sonia. And the question I want to ask you is that what I just want to say is, talk to us. How can we, as young women, women naturally marry upwards, right? They usually want to marry somebody who can take care of them, somebody who can pay their bills, somebody who can spoil them, somebody. Most ladies out there are actually expecting a boyfriend to be more successful and more financially stable than their own father. That's the expectation most young ladies are having out there today. And and that is why many of them they rather um, 10 of them rather chase one boy that is 35 years old than agree to the guys who are 26, 27, 28, 25 around them. So I just want to say something on this. How can our young girls be able to see potential in men and have faith that this guy will also grow someday to become like the other guys that other girls are chasing?
Well, okay. I think a girl with a purpose, if you know what you want for your life and you've met this guy, if you every girl is trained that is now
What happened?
No, they're not. Oh, they're
What
muted.
happened?
They're muted.
Sorry.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Please continue, please.
Yeah, it's on now.
All right. Okay. So I almost lost my thought. Okay, I'm back now. All right. So if she has a purpose for her life, like I said, every girl, every lady, every woman has that inside of them to know that this person is serious or this person is not serious. If you see a girl messing around, it's not because she doesn't know that this guy is not serious. It's because she herself is fooling herself, thinking that one day this guy might suddenly turn around to be this or to that because of their high horse that they are riding on, and they place a very high price expectations for themselves. They want to carry the bag that a woman that has worked for 30 years is carrying. They want to wear the kind of dresses
Sure.
she wear, drive the kind of car she's driving. They don't know how much she has put into investing into her life to be able to afford those kind of things. So because they don't have that tenacity to just wait and grow by themselves, they now want to cut corners, whereby trying to go for bigger guys, sugar daddies that can meet their needs while they have one by the side that is their regular boyfriend, and all this double lifestyle that they live is what I don't know whether it's greed or misplace of priority that will make a girl or a lady do that to herself. There's a story once that happened. This is a real life story. I don't want to say where it happened because some people might start tracing
Yeah.
it and know who I'm talking about. This lady goes from school to Port Harcourt to go and visit a senator that was her sugar daddy. So after school, she went to UK for masters and met this lovely guy, and that both of them
Yeah.
were crazy for each other. Only for her to come to Port Harcourt, lo and behold, her father-in-law was her sugar daddy.
It's her sugar son. The
Wow.
boyfriend is
The
her
matter
sugar son.
scattered because there's no way
The-
he will give. Sorry.
Yes. I said the boyfriend was her sugar son now. If the boyfriend's father is her sugar daddy, then the boy is the sugar son.
Uh, was sugar daddy. You
Yeah.
see, she had made some moves in her past that she didn't wait for her in the future, and she had to pay very high price for that because she couldn't get the man she loved because of the mistakes of her past. Okay, and heard from her for a very long time. It's very heartbreaking, but that's the reality of life because all the decisions you're making, you're thinking you're young, you're hot, you're there, you're out there, so you should enjoy, in quote. Was it Moses that said, who was that now in the Bible that said he refused to call sin enjoyment? That should be, is it?
It was
I can't
Solomon. It
remember
was
who really, but
Solomon.
there's someone in the
Even
Bible
in, even in Ecclesiastes.
that,
Even in Ecclesiastes and the Proverbs, they said when
aha,
he
that
was also talking about young people should enjoy their youth, but they should always remember that a day is coming when they will have to account for the youth.
exactly. So we have to make decisions thoughtfully as young ladies. Don't be all these, some of these people on Instagram showing bags and dresses. Some of them is just for show. Go to their private life, you'll be
Yeah.
shocked. They are a wreck, some of them are messed up. So they are just acting for you to buy views and buy followers. And then you're following and modeling after the people that are living a very, how many of them can actually afford those things they carry on? Like some of them borrow, sometimes they quarrel, you borrow it, you not return it, or this and all the drama. Eh? The most important thing is you as the lady know that you are priceless, you're beautiful, you are
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
complete, even without the man. So you're just there to add into his life. So don't feel you need to like do this and do that to be. There'll be a lot of regrets waiting for you in the future. So I advise them to think thoughtfully, prayerfully make decisions that will lead them aright. The Holy Spirit is always there to direct us. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that contribution. Thank you. Thank you. Um, I cannot say I wish I knew this earlier. I knew those things earlier, but I refused to have sex. I was I was sometimes you will say I wish I knew this things earlier. I knew when also there was also I know that there's also a dynamic to my own part, but I cannot also deny responsibility for it because one of the dynamics for one part is that when I was 25 thereabout, I relocated from Makurdi to start my own counseling practice and to also start my law firm in Ibadan, a city I had not yet been to. So I spent those first 3 years trying to have footing. Even when I had people that liked me, I did not tell people like that. I was trying to house rent, food, and the rest. So now we are looking for the house rent and the food. We are still trusting God for it every day.
Mm.
So now that I cannot say if I need better. So Tosin, I want to talk to you because right now I'm going to connect you people because the two of you, the two families, people have shared experiences and the
Yeah.
rest, some shared reality. Well, I'm going to be bringing Pastor Danfavo and his wife
Yeah.
again. Trust me, I'm going to be bringing them again. And you people on the topic, I'm going to arrange way and do that. So I want to ask you to say, I know you cannot deny it. Joseph was one of the he was the finest boy in the hood. The guy is more than 6 feet tall. The guy has broad shoulders. He's into construction and the rest. We know it
I
was
hope I
fine.
be yourself.
So we know it is grace that won him for you. It is just grace. We know. Plus grace, we know it was grace, we know it was favor, we know.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also a major part you played that I would also want you to bring on board. The part of where people see potential and they don't have to start beating around the bush or making anxiety about it. What will you have to say regarding that?
Um, so I think that it's easy to actually see potential. Okay, so many times we just don't acknowledge it because of the things that we've set our minds to. So you can actually see potential in a guy and be like, oh, he's all right. But I want a guy that is already made. Okay, he already has all the money. He can already afford to take me, on the vacation. He can afford to give me, this certain lifestyle. And then we choose not to see the potential. So because I had, like I said, I already knew that I was going to get married early. The Holy Spirit had already told
Mhm.
me. So even my previous relationships were in my mind onto marriage. So I was not about that
Yeah.
life of playing around. Like, if this is it, then let's make it work. Another thing, aside from
Mhm.
the potentials that I saw, I mean, he already had his business, he was doing well, I was seeing results, I was seeing how dedicated he was. Another thing that I
Mhm.
think I did that was a bit more significant for me, because there were also other guys that I had met that were successful as well. They were doing well in their
Mhm.
businesses, some even richer at that time, you know. But I think one thing that stood out was, I prayed to God to actually let me see him through his eyes. Like, I prayed to God to see my husband through God's eyes. I wanted to see what God saw when he sees my husband.
Mhm.
And I think one thing that
Mhm.
stood out was the fact that he was sacrificial. So it made me understand that no matter how little it is that we have, he was going to be able to sacrifice for the family, to say, okay, even if what we have is 1,000, let us, find the way to make it work. So aside all that potential, because most young people these days have potential, okay, most young people already have plans. Even people that want to flex and enjoy, they actually have plans for their
Mhm.
lives of where they want to be. But there has to be something significant that just stands out, for you. So I
Yeah.
think that was the thing that stood out for me. So as a young lady, as much as you find potential in this person, it's also
Yeah.
important that you know that your ways are alike, and even when he's 40, when he's 50, you can still stand to say that, see, no matter where we'll be, or no matter the tides and turns, okay, I know that at least this one thing will be constant. We will find our
Yeah.
footing on 1,000, on 1,000,000, on 1 billion. We will find our footing, somehow. And you also have to be ready to sacrifice, because not every day it will be rosy,
Yeah.
but you have to be ready to
Yeah.
also, you know, delay gratification. Let me put it that way. I know that if I
Mm.
don't have that trip now, me too, I want to go on trip. I want to flex. I want to go on solo trip. I want to go to Greece. Can you hear my husband? But I know that if we can't go now, who knows? Next 1 year, next 2 years, I can be lounging in Greece and be doing this video with you people, So it's just a matter of perception, how you see it. We don't have it now, doesn't mean we can't have it in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years. So you yourself as a lady have potential as well, so that your potentials meet each other and then they can produce beautiful results.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys are family people. I wish to keep people longer, but man, I've already kept it for 25 minutes extra because this was supposed to end by 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Oops, I don't want to keep people longer. Trust me. I don't want to keep it. That would be wrong. That would be very rude and very, very arrogant. And because the thing about it is that after this video, I'm going to be editing it. By the time we are done editing the video and the rest, I'm going to send this video to many churches and I'm going to send this video to many groups that come and see people who did it and hear from them. Because sometimes it's like when I'm talking about it, it's like I'm a sadist. I'm like, no, the errors, they think that we are putting them under pressure. No, I'm not putting you under pressure. Life itself is pressure. Life itself is pressure. Right? Right answer, there is pressure everywhere. So if we are young, carry this burden with your youth. So that by the time you are old, it's not when you are old, you will not start looking for you and your children. I told somebody that it is not a blessing that you are 60 years old, that your children are still undergraduates. It's not a blessing. How can you be 60 years old and you are still praying about ASU? It's not a blessing. Yes. Mercy, God's mercy will be there for you. But what did you do with grace in your youth? When you were young, you had grace. What did you do with grace? Because for you to be asking for mercy, it means that you misuse grace. That is my belief. I may be wrong, but that is my belief. That because grace is no longer available, you are not praying for mercy. That is usually my belief. So I usually like, why don't you take advantage of grace right now? So that tomorrow you will not have to be praying for mercy. Every time mercy, oh Lord, be merciful. Oh Lord, be merciful. Oh Lord, be merciful. What did you do with grace? What did you do with grace? First of all, come and give account of what you did with grace. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. From the city, I did not know where Pastor Dan and Mama they are joining us from, but I know Tosi and Joseph, they have run away and left me in Ibadan. And the rest, I forgive you people.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you, Pastor Dan. I'll also come visit you around you guys. So when I come visit you, I will definitely come and see your faces again. And the rest, I'll meet you people one-on-one. Of course, for me to also be able to meet Mama and the rest. Trust me, when we come to the city, we're already planning. I had a speaking engagement yesterday in that city, but I could not make it, so I had to speak virtually because I could not make it physically, so I had to speak virtually. But I still have conferences that will bring me in, even on August thereabout. So I'll definitely be able to connect with people. Thank you so much. I have to let you people go now so I don't take one of your nights. You're all.
Thank you. Bye.